Okay, there's no way you can get around not taking this off. So there's two Phillips screws right there. They came out. Also two bolt screws, whatever they are there. This should come right off. There we go. I gotta be careful, this isn't a wrecker car. I can't just break everything that I'm taking off. There we go. Now there's going to be more plastic or metal bolts right there. One there. One there. Two there. And then this cluster should pull right out. If you need to clean in behind the cluster, I might do that, because I don't think I'm going to have this out again. Okay, so the cluster off now. We have more room to work. Now at the wreckers, I took off these guys here, which this is just pretty much a plastic cover for the gauge. But doesn't really have any use here. At the wreckers, once I got that off, I then ripped this piece right off. This piece right here, all ripped off, because I didn't care. However, with my car, I do care, so I don't plan to wreck anything like that. Now what we need to get to, if I can see with the camera and the flashlight here, are those wires right there. That is where the clock spring plugs into. So I'm going to see if I can get to that without destroying or ripping out the whole dash. If you put your hand in behind here, there's a little plastic piece that kind of holds it on. Hopefully once I push that out, I can maybe fish it out with a hook or some needle nose pliers. So let's see what I can do. Yeah, it looks like just the pink and green are the only ones that aren't on the old one. So hopefully those will work. Hopefully this car is already wired for it. Hopefully they go somewhere. So all I'm gonna have to do now is this airbag yellow wire. Don't know where it goes. It goes somewhere into the car, somewhere far away. Looks like near the fuse panel. Actually, it looks like it goes right there. Maybe I didn't have to cut it. Oh well, I did. And there's no way it comes off in the clock spring area. But pretty simple. Looks like it's just a green and white wire in a yellow shroud, if you can see. This camera won't focus on it. But I'm just going to test this the way it is. I'm going to plug this into the car harness, plug this into the wheel, and probably hook up the negative and positive and see what happens. I don't think that airbag will blow. But yeah, let's just we'll find out. Okay, so it can be done. Here's the radio. Here it is plugged in, still missing the cruise control. Here's the volume.
That's September 10th at Rogers Arena, and he's in for the grand prize.
Look at that. Mute. What do we got here? AM, FM. Preset. I'm not going to use that one. Oh, maybe I will. We can seek. Oh, that was a good one. All right. Well, we got quite a bit to reassemble here. Hopefully it goes back in one piece. Okay, so what I've done is, because this yellow airbag wire I cut from the donor car, I had to cut mine and then splice in here. And I'm going to individually wrap these with some black electrical tape as well, make sure they're really secure. If you're better at pulling things than I am, turns out this yellow wire, as I'm pushing up, goes here, goes along this line. You can see a bit of it right there, and it actually plugs in right there. If I knew that to begin with, and if I wasn't sweating buckets in the donor car because it's 32 degrees outside, I probably would have done it right. But oh well, I'm sure this will work. I will post more video once I've done more stuff here. Okay, so some more reassembly. I got that little clip there on as best I could. Not too sure if GM sells it separately or if it'd come with the clock spring, but definitely really hard to get back on there. It seems to work because this is not coming off now. Also, I put in the dash cluster. Remember, you have to go in kind of facing sideways and then tilt it forward as you go in. It will plug back in on the right as well. Then I'm just gonna reassemble all these screws and finish up at least with this dash cluster here. Okay, put that back together now. Now I need to work on the wheel that I got. Here's my old wheel. If you look at this for the cruise control, this is the plug that plugs into the clock spring. It has only the 6 pins. The wheel that I got was missing the cruise control buttons because they're broken off. So all I have is this piece here. And then this piece feeds into the harness, which goes to the clock spring. So I'm going to take this off and pull off that piece right there, then put it onto the wheel. And then I'm going to take the wheel and hopefully I will get it back onto here, no issues. Okay, putting the wheel back on, there's a little arrow right there, and on the other side of that is a flat spot in around all the pins. So it should only go on one way, because I've had wheels where I've put them on and I've put them on crooked because there was no master spline. So technically all there is to do is to bolt it back up, plug in these cables, and then put the airbag in. So I'm going to quickly put this wheel on and then I'll put the airbag back on. Okay, getting the wheel back on required a 21mm ratchet there, and also somebody to hold on to the wheel. I tightened it down as best I could, and then I took off the nut to see how far I was down the spline, and it was just like it was when I took off this bolt. So it's pretty snug. Also, these two wires are fed through this hole here. I'm going to reconnect the airbag up here. I won't be able to take a video on this at the same time, but this positive wire will go down that hole there and it should twist in. The black ground here will go right there, and this yellow one will only go on one way onto this wheel here. Is this the right way? Yeah, that is the right way. Okay, I'm going to put this on now. Okay, so I just tried putting my Torx 30-bit and the actual screw here through the back, but you can't fit this part through the back of the wheel. So I'm guessing that you simply have to put it in right here. And this plastic piece kind of holds it in place on either side. And then I'm going to attempt to screw it back in. If I can just put this, well, clearly I can't do this and hold the camera. So let's see if I get it. So the hardest part, I think, in this whole thing was putting this airbag back on, as the nuts had to be inside the wheel and you could not hold on to the nut and the torque wrench and put it in through the back. But that just took a bit of effort. The steering wheel is back on. I'm going to see if it's center. I didn't put the plastic shroud on here yet, just because, well, that's easy. You can do that yourself. And one last final check. Buttons work. So it can be done.